Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Kathy Rain. So we were in the middle of asking Charles all these questions, so...
You bought a number of paintings by Lily Myers. Why?
I'm known to dabble in art from time to time. Martha, my wife at the time, was enamored with the paintings. I believe she first saw them at the high school which the Myers girl attended. Anyway, after the poor girl killed herself, I bought the paintings speculatively. When a young artist with any talent to speak of commits suicide, it can be a wet dream of certain connoisseurs. Shortly after procuring the art, I had it valued by an expert who determined that the value was 3 times the amount I bought it for.
Which is weird since she's
Today,
unknown.
I'm sure I would have made my money back tenfold or more if it wasn't for the art theft.
What art theft?
There was a burglary at the mansion I used to own here in town. It was all over the local news at the time.
Well, shit.
Eloquently put.
Huh.
Can you
Guess it's
tell
about
me
this.
about the art theft?
Well, somebody broke in, stole the paintings, and got out. Fairly clumsy job. Lots of broken windows.
Just the
The
art?
strangest thing was that I had a Monet, a Rembrandt, and 2 paintings by Picasso, untouched. But
Interesting.
every single painting by an unknown local artist, gone.
Yeah.
That can't be a coincidence.
Nope.
Agreed. Somebody wanted those paintings badly.
I assume there was an investigation.
Yes, Sheriff Truman came by.
I mean,
with his
art's kinda
deputy
hard to
a few
steal,
hours
'cause, like-
later, but they didn't have much luck.
Unless you have,
They
like, a
found
black
few
market.
hairs, which turned out to be from Ruffles, the family dog.
Some stunning police work right there.
Indeed.
Huh.
There was a single witness, though, who said he could make out multiple burglars leaving the scene of the crime, but nothing more than that.
So, I take it the case was closed?
Yes. I honestly didn't care much one way or the other, given the fact that my most expensive pieces were safe and sound.
I think I'll have a chat with the sheriff about the matter, if that's okay with you.
Certainly. I'll call ahead and instruct him to give you everything you need.
That'd be great. Thanks, Charles.
Anytime. But I'm curious, what's your interest in the paintings?
I've learned that my grandfather went to Sue and asked to see them, right before he had his injury.
Is that so? Strange.
Do you recognize the call sign Cocky?
Would be strange if I didn't, since I was the one who coined it. It belongs to a fellow named Jimmy Cochran. He was a coward, really. The nickname is somewhat of a bad joke.
Perfect. Thanks.
Nice.
Tell me about Jimmy Cochran. Is he still alive?
In a literal sense. He's been held in a mental institution for years.
Uh-huh.
Let me guess. Since 81?
Either 82 or 83. I'm fairly certain it was early 83.
Do you remember the name of the institution?
Something starting with an E. Emerson, Everton, or similar.
Ingstrom? Ingstrom Psychiatric Hospital?
Yes, that's the one. You know the place, Kathy.
I do. My mother is in there. Sharon Evans? I had her committed about a year ago.
I see. It must have taken a lot of courage to do that, Kathy. Mothers have a lot of power over us. More than most of us care to admit.
Yeah, they do. I still feel
guess so.
guilty when my mom
Do you
tells
know
me to
why
clean.
Jimmy ended up in there?
Some obsessive
I'm an adult.
compulsive syndrome.
I don't need to
He
clean.
became fixated with circles. And
Crop
started hunting
circles!
himself, trying to scratch the circles out of his head.
Sounds...
Creepy.
Yeah.
I wonder what set him off. I think I'll check the place out tomorrow. Too late to head back to the city now.
Let's see if he knows anything
What
about
can
the
you
church.
tell me about the Church of the Holy Trinity?
They seem like any other church to me. But then again, I'm not their usual clientele. Weddings, baptisms, and funerals are just about what I can muster. And I always leave early.
Okie dokie.
Thanks, Charles. That's all I need for now.
You're welcome, Kathy. Come back anytime.
Hi,
I'd
Quad.
rather not. He'd crush me like a twig.
Okay. Bye, Claude. Look at that fucking room in this, like, tiny little clinic. He's got, like, the whole upstairs. And the nurse is still not there. Okay, so let's go... Where were the other things that we had to go to?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
I just like the fact that it... Oops, I clicked the wrong thing. I was trying to get her to exit and... I clicked off on my thing. And we went to the clinic, the church, or the nature reserve. I guess we'll go to the church next. I guess it doesn't really matter.
Hello, Father.
Greetings, my child. I'm glad you decided to come here.
Yeah, but just so you know, I'm not here to join your church or anything.
Oh, I would never assume that.
Good. So, with that out of the way, I have some questions.
Anything you need. I'm Isaac Price.
Kathy Rain, but I'm guessing you figured that out already.
I did. Rumors spread quickly around here.
Look,
So how can I
ooh,
be of
there's
service?
this crop circles.
Do you know anything about what happened to my grandfather in 81?
It was the work of the devil, I'll say that much. Joseph
Okay.
was a kind man. He did not deserve such a fate.
Backing
You heard
slowly
my
out of the
speech at the
church.
funeral, Kathy. I meant every word. He was a great man who did much good for this community.
Did you know him personally?
In a way, he and my father did charity work together. Joseph was around a lot when I was young. They collaborated on a few different projects for the homeless and for the troubled youth, among other things.
So my grandfather was a member of the church?
I wouldn't say that, no. He was a friend of the church, but he wasn't a religious man. He believed only in philanthropy. That being said, Joseph was the person who convinced me to become a priest.
Really?
Oh yes, I was a teenager back then, full of rebellion, every fiber of my being wanting to distance myself from my father. Joseph made me realize my sinful pride and showed me how I should follow my heart regardless of what others might think. And for that, I'm eternally grateful.
Care to tell me the history of the church?
I'd be happy to. The story is a fascinating one. This church was founded by my father, William T. Price, in the 70s. Back then, he made his living as a traveling salesman and was driving through this area as he'd done so many times before. However, this day was different. My father held dark thoughts in his mind. He was angry, thinking of evil deeds, even considering swerving off the road into a rock and ending it all. Then suddenly, divine intervention. 3 bright lights appeared. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, the sign of God. This epiphany was the moment my father had been waiting for. He sold all of his belongings and took me and my brother to live with him here in Conwell Springs. Soon thereafter, he built this church and started gathering followers. They began to refer to him as Father Bill.
I take it that window up there resembles what he saw when he had this epiphany?
Indeed, the stained glass window depicts the Holy Trinity as witnessed by my father.
Do you know exactly when or where this event took place?
Why do you ask?
Oh, just curious. It's a captivating story.
Well, it was in the spring of 1971, but my father never told anyone where.
Let me guess, the nature reserve?
So what happened then?
Where that flower is?
People flocked to Father Bill. He started teaching, writing scripture. The church flourished and continued to grow all the way up until his sudden death in 1983. That's when I stepped in to take leadership of the church.
I take it that the church started declining after the death of Father Bill?
Yes, naturally so. With such a magnetic personality, he was irreplaceable. But I assure you the church is still very much thriving.
Looks kinda empty to me.
It's not really our peak hours.
What's up with you handing out pamphlets at funerals then? Trying to reel people in at a weak moment?
I'm going to assume you meant no disrespect, child. I'm simply providing divine guidance when it's needed the most.
I don't think we need to ask him
I
about
think I
those
need
things,
to ask him about a few more things before I go.
Oh. Okay.
Does the name Lily Myers mean anything to you?
It does. I was a substitute teacher in her high school for some time before I was ordained.
I didn't
Really?
think he would be able to
Did
tell
you
us,
know
but
her personally?
then again.
We weren't close. I only knew her as much as a teacher would know any student.
All right, so how did she seem toward the end?
For one, she started skipping school a lot. And when she did show up, she was absent-minded and moody.
Okay.
She always looked depressed and hunched down like she had a whole world on her shoulders.
Any idea of what caused this change?
Not a clue. All I know is that when she returned from that last summer break, she was a whole different person.
Okay.
Do you know anything about an art theft at the Wade estate in the 80s?
I have just a vague memory of reading about it in the paper.
Okie dokie.
Do you know who Jimmy Cochran is?
I don't recognize that name, no.
Oh, okay. So,
That's all I need for now, Father.
okay, we had to, I
May
guess.
the Lord shine his light on you.
Okay. Okay, bye. So let's go to the nature reserve now.
Well, this is it. This is where the picture was taken.
Okay.
I'm not sure what I expected to find here. I need to clear my head.
There's nothing for us to do.
What the?
We've met before, haven't we?
It's the creep in our dream.
I doubt it. You look like you just escaped from a circus. That's not really my kind of gig.
Yet you always play the part of the clown, Kathy.
Who are you? How do you know my name?
And why were you in my dream?
You told me, remember?
Creepy.
I feel strange. Am I dreaming?
It's the mending. I will try to facilitate.
The what now?
You're not real. I'm lying asleep in my bed right now.
Focus, Kathy. Listen to the drowned girl.
You mean Lily? What about her?
She's the anomaly, the missing refrain, the convergence point of things
Blackwell
past
convergence.
and events yet to happen.
What?
Dial down the metaphors a notch, would you, Mr. Kafka? I get enough of that shit in English class.
I knew you wouldn't disappoint. I'm glad, given how much trouble I went through to be here. You see, my name was taken from me, so I claimed a color in its stead. The next time we meet, you'll know the exact hue of red. You're on the right path, Kathy. Follow your
Creepy.
grandfather, and everything will work out in the end.
Wait, what? How did I get here?
Damn right. How did you
Am I
get
going
here?
Crazy? Am I turning into Mom?
Yes. I was like, now we can't click on it?
Hello? Creepy bald guy.
Creepy bald guy. Creepy red dude.
Guess no one's home. What's this?
The red man. And he said you'll know the exact shade of red.
It's endangered. I'm not gonna take it without a really good reason. Looks like a specimen of the red scythe.
Didn't she give us that,
It's a photocopy of a book page with information about the red scythe flower.
I don't know if we need this right
Here's
now.
an
But...
interesting segment. Another interesting trait of the red scythe is the smell, which is familiar to that of a pepper. The pollen of the plant has also been known to cause hallucinations in concentrated amounts.
Oh, maybe that's our problem.
Native American tribes harvested and smoked the plant for that reason, but the flower never caught on as a modern recreational drug due to the difficulty of growing it.
'Cause we lazy. Okay, so... So maybe we're gonna have to go to the sheriff's station and ask about the paintings, but maybe we can go ask... What's her face? We just thrust our fist at the seagull.
Oh, it's you again. Come on in.
No Nathan today?
Nah, haven't seen Nate all day. Probably out in the woods.
It just reminded me when I saw his drawings on the floor. What did he say?
Looks like Nathan knows the strange red man. I need to talk to him about this.
Because he said something about the red man, and we kept saying he was Santa Claus. It just dawned on me when we walked in, and because he was drawing the last when we okay. Does she know?
I had a few more questions, Sue.
Shoot.
Do you know who the red man is?
Oh, that's just Nate's imaginary friend. The red man has been around ever since my boy was little.
I see. So there's no actual person in town he could be referring to?
No way! According to Nathan, the red man hasn't changed in 30 years.
Aliens.
Sounds like he has quite an active imagination then.
I am not going to tell him that
you
I saw
have
him.
No idea. He has unique names for each of the kitchen utensils. Nuff said.
Did you know that somebody stole Lily's paintings from Wade?
Huh? I knew
The way
he
the
got robbed
sun
a few
kinda
years
looks
back,
like
but
the,
I thought he still had them all.
The orbs.
I don't need to ask her about that. I don't need to ask her about that.
I think that's
Do you
it.
know who...
Oh, that's just...
I see. The red man actually exists. I met him in the forest.
I just figure we can
What?
change.
That's crazy talk. Stop kidding around. I am not in the mood.
I think I'm gonna head off now.
Sure thing, little cat. Come back anytime.
Okie dokie. Okay, bye. I guess we can take off. And we will, I guess, go to the sheriff's station, but I think I will wrap this part up here. Because that will probably take a little bit of time. So when we come back in the next part, we'll go to the sheriff's station and I guess ask about the stolen paintings and stuff. So I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.